In an age where politics is fought not only in Congress but on TikTok, podcasts, and college campuses, one young man rose to capture the attention of millions. To some, he's a hero of free speech, to others, a lightning rod of division. His name is Charlie Kirk, and this is his story. Charlie Kirk was born in 1993 in Wheeling, Illinois. Unlike most kids his age, Kirk didn't dream of sports stardom or Hollywood fame. His obsession was politics. Talk radio blared in his bedroom, books on Reagan, capitalism, and American history filled his shelves. He was, by all accounts, a political junkie in a teenager's body.
Son, most kids your age are playing Xbox. You're arguing with the TV.
Dad, one day I'm gonna change this country.
At 18, while his classmates prepped for college, Charlie Kirk took a different path. In 2012, he traveled to Tampa, Florida, where he gave a speech at the Republican National Convention. It was a short appearance, but it lit a fire. Most 18-year-olds were picking dorms. Charlie Kirk was picking a fight with America's cultural left. In 2012, with nothing more than ambition, a laptop, and a borrowed $5,000, Charlie Kirk founded Turning Point USA. His mission was clear: to organize, educate, and empower the next generation to embrace free markets, limited government, and American exceptionalism.
Guys, listen, campuses are dominated by leftist groups. But what if we create a conservative voice that's everywhere? High schools, colleges, everywhere. If we fight culture at the source, we can shift the future.
Yeah, but Charlie, we don't even have offices. Just your laptop.
Then this laptop is going to change America.
Within a few years, TPUSA exploded, from one man's vision to a presence on over 1,000 campuses nationwide. They hosted conferences, recruited influencers, and built a brand that resonated with young conservatives hungry for a voice. But success brought fire. The more TPUSA grew, the more backlash it faced. Student protests turned into viral confrontations. Headlines accused the group of stoking division. And through it all, Charlie Kirk became the face of the storm. To his followers, he was a fearless warrior. To his critics, a dangerous radical. But one thing was certain: Charlie Kirk had arrived. Charlie Kirk was no longer just a campus activist. He was becoming a media force. Armed with sharp debating skills and a talent for quick comebacks, Kirk stepped into America's living rooms. Through Fox News, conservative podcasts, and viral online clips.
Charlie, just remember, be bold, be quick, and don't hold back.
Don't worry, holding back isn't really my thing.
Clips like these went viral, spreading across Facebook and YouTube. To fans, Charlie Kirk was fearless, a defender of capitalism and free speech. To his critics, he was simplistic, combative, and sometimes reckless. But love him or hate him, his voice was getting louder. In 2019, Kirk launched The Charlie Kirk Show. What began as a podcast quickly transformed into a media powerhouse. Daily commentary, special guests, millions of downloads. His show became a daily rallying point for conservatives nationwide, and it solidified Kirk not just as an activist, but as a media influencer. Then came Donald J. Trump. Kirk didn't just support the president. He became one of Trump's fiercest young allies. The alignment was natural. Both thrived on boldness, both thrived on controversy, and both thrived on turning media attention into power.
Get ready. This is history.
At TPUSA events, the atmosphere began to resemble rock concerts. Cheering students, lights flashing, flags waving. Charlie Kirk wasn't just building a youth group, he was building a movement tied to one of the most polarizing presidents in U.S. history.
Charlie's done a fantastic job. One of the most powerful young people in politics today.
By his mid-20s, Charlie Kirk had become one of the youngest and most recognized figures shaping the Republican Party. His access to the White House, his growing media empire, and his grassroots network put him at the center of the conservative movement. But with influence comes fire. Critics accused TPUSA of oversimplifying debates, of turning complex issues into sound bites. Internal controversies and accusations of mismanagement hit headlines. On campuses, confrontations with liberal students often turned into shouting matches that went viral online.
You're spreading hate.
No, I'm spreading truth. And truth isn't always comfortable.
These moments cemented his reputation, to some as a fearless fighter, to others as a provocateur fueling division. By the late 2010s, Charlie Kirk wasn't just a young activist anymore, he was a national figure. His book signings drew crowds, his podcasts hit millions of downloads, his conferences, like TPUSA's America Fest, attracted thousands, with stages that looked more like rock arenas than political rallies. From suburban Illinois, to the White House, to America's biggest stages, Charlie Kirk had carved a place in history as one of the most influential young conservatives of his generation. But with fame comes fire, and the biggest controversies were still to come. For every fan who praised Charlie Kirk as a defender of free speech, there was a critic calling him dangerous. Turning Point USA's rapid growth didn't just attract students, it attracted scrutiny.
Turning Point spreads hate on campuses. We won't be silent.
Free speech isn't hate speech. If we back down now, we lose the future.
Clashes like these went viral. To conservatives, they were proof that the left feared debate. To liberals, they were proof that Kirk was polarizing campuses. The truth was often in the eye of the beholder. Turning Point USA also faced its share of controversies. Critics alleged internal mismanagement, financial questions, and accusations of misconduct within chapters. Some members left disillusioned, saying the organization cared more about publicity than principle.
It became less about ideas and more about celebrity. Kirk was always the star, and sometimes the mission took second place.
Kirk and his allies dismissed many of these claims as smear campaigns, but the stories kept coming, fueling the perception that Turning Point was not just a movement, but a lightning rod for scandal.
When you're over the target, you take the most flack. That's why they attack us, because we're winning.
Charlie Kirk leaned into the controversy. He branded himself as a fighter in America's culture wars. On the Charlie Kirk Show, he tackled hot-button issues: immigration, gender identity, race, economics, religion. His bold style won him followers and enemies.
If we surrender our values to political correctness, we surrender America, and I, for one, won't let that happen.
Every statement drew both applause and outrage, but in a media age driven by clicks and clips, controversy wasn't a weakness, it was fuel. Today, Charlie Kirk is not just an activist, he is the CEO of a political brand. His podcast racks up millions of downloads, his conferences draw tens of thousands of attendees, his books climb the charts, and Turning Point USA has become a conservative juggernaut, with influence stretching from high school gyms to the halls of Congress.
Charlie, you inspired me to start a campus club. Thank you.
Keep fighting. You're the future.
For supporters, Kirk is proof that one young man can challenge the status quo. For critics, he is a dangerous symbol of division. But either way, he is impossible to ignore. Charlie Kirk is still in his early 30s. His journey is far from over. Will he continue as a media influencer, shaping the conservative youth for decades to come? Will he take a more direct role in politics, maybe even run for office? Or will the weight of controversy eventually dim his spotlight?
This is not about me. It's about the future of America, and I'm just getting started.
From a suburban teenager with a laptop, to a national figure commanding millions of followers, Charlie Kirk has risen, and stirred debate at every step. Patriot, provocateur, or something in between. The answer depends not just on who you ask, but on what America becomes in the years ahead. What do you think of Charlie Kirk? Is he shaping the future or dividing it? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if you learned something new, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the figures shaping our world.